guys keep take over the floor, so I just I'll be silent. Enjoy your conversation.
Oh no!
Hello, how you guys doing?
If you're
And
not
is
there,
it
Dee, we're missing a piece of the energy. We're missing it. You know,
It's
we're
here.
miss,
It's here. It's here. It's
it's like
here.
we're missing a chakra.
All right.
All right. Nice to see everybody. Marilyn, welcome back. Nice to see you, my dear.
yeah.
And iPhone, is that Amanda?
We Marilyn and Dee Dee,
And Dee Dee. We have Dee Dee here.
and
Oh,
we
Hi,
have
everyone.
hi.
and we have somebody by the name of
Hi.
iPhone.
I think that might be Amanda. We'll wait to see if she comes on, but let me pray us in so we can continue in our conversation. So I invite everyone to turn within for a moment as we take a deep breath in. And so how grateful and thankful I am to be here today in this now moment, the only moment that's ever happening. I'm grateful and thankful for these beloveds that are here live with us on the class, those that will join us later, those that will listen to the recording. For truly there is no time in God. And so everything is happening all at once. Even the versions of ourselves that we aspire to become are already here. And so I'm grateful and thankful for all of the modalities, all of the teachers that have gone before us, that assist us as we walk out this human incarnation, that bring about the ease and the grace, the love and the light, recognizing that God is the source of all of existence, this divine love that is steadfast and unwavering, to know that it is creativity, divine intelligence, wholeness and abundance, harmony and grace, and that it is absolutely everywhere present simultaneously. For Creator and its creation are eternally one. This relationship is unseverable. It expresses in, through, and as all that is, including each one of us. For God is right where Amanda is, right where Dee Dee is, right where Bruce and Dee are, right where Marilyn and Ethelyn are, right where Reverend Sandra is, right where I am. And so we lean into this divine intelligence and love that we are one with. As we become open and available to the support in ways in which we have not experienced previously, we make welcome its grace, its peace, its wholeness, its love, its joy, its creativity. And so I'm blessing our time together tonight. Thankful for all that gets to be shared, all that gets to be heard, all that gets to be embraced and released and transmuted and transcended, as we continue to allow more of our true magnificence to emanate, to radiate through these physical bodies and minds. Knowing it is all done already in the heart of God, I release this word to its loving law by saying, and so it is. Amen.
So it is.
And so it is, amen.
So it is.
Hello, it was Amanda. Nice to see you, my dear. Oh my goodness. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your presence, your devotion to your soul's unfoldment, right? Because this work is not necessarily easy. And it's that devotion, though, that keeps us coming back for more and more and more. So it has to go beyond even like a sense of responsibility or even a dedication. Our growth has to come from a place of devotion, the energy of love, really, truly. So thank you for being that. Did you guys get a chance to listen to the recording of the forgiveness process? Did that come through?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
The Michael Beckwith? Yeah. Yeah.
So I would like to hear,
I didn't.
you didn't, that's okay, Bruce, you can do it later on. Would anybody like to share how the process felt for them? Or what the experience was like?
Do I have it right? It was Michael with his long hair speaking to everyone, correct?
Oh, okay. So I sent that video. Is that the one I sent?
Yeah, and where he was having people repeat after him.
Okay. So
You said, Cynthia,
yes.
and that and the one with him and Dr. Sue. I looked at both of those. That's the one you're talking about as well?
Yes, both of those.
Yeah, I got both of those.
Okay.
And I looked at both of them, but I can't comment right now because I enjoyed them, and then I went from one thing to the next thing to the next session to all of the videos, and I just went, for the last few days. That's what I've been doing, and so it's hard to comment on that one because I'm like, okay, am I too distracted? Am I going? You know what I'm saying? I'm absorbing so much.
Yes.
So I just want to tell you thank you. I appreciate it. And then I went back to your meditation that you had given us for that. I opened up a whole can of worms, okay? So it's hard for me to just comment on one. But I remember that video too with Dr. Michael, what she's saying at ARTW. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I particularly loved his statement that go back to a time when you were loved for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
To feel love for no reason. And it's just being that state of just childlike where everything is pure, everything is accepted. And you're accepting that for yourself, so it's so easy to accept it for others.
I agree. And I think that that's probably something that we get to bring back, right? Because it's how we started out. We loved and we expected love without needing to do anything for it in exchange for it. Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you, Athlon. And how about you, Marilyn?
Hi, everyone. I missed you guys last week.
We missed
You.
I didn't get to listen to the video, but I did the forgiveness exercise in the life visioning class with a partner. And oh my goodness, it was very cathartic for me. By the time we got through it, I mean, I was like boo-hooing, like deep, like guttural cries and stuff. And it was just like a lot of weight was lifted. So I'm looking forward to watching it again this week to see what comes up. So yeah. I'm a little bit behind in my exercises and stuff, but I'm going through each one, and I did get to watch the video from last week. So
good.
So what's coming through is everything is in its own timing, and I'm giving myself ease and grace. So, and I think it's been working for me so that I'm not beating myself up because I'm like, okay, I should have had this done. And yeah, so that's what's been coming through. It's like, you know what? This is the first time I haven't like just been on edge because I wasn't on time with everything. So yeah.
It's a whole different way of being with ourselves as we go through this process, right, of learning and remembering. And I know that sometimes I get like 5 assignments, but I like what you're saying. Reverend Michael spoke to this earlier this week. He was interviewing Lisa, the public speaker that spoke at Agape recently,
Lisa Nichols.
Lisa Nichols. And in the interview, I was watching it earlier today, and she grew up with dyslexia. So she made a comment about how sometimes it would take her a year to read a book. And then he made reference to, I think his name was Edward Thoreau or Howard Thoreau, was the person that he referred to. And he said that that man, who I believe is like a prominent figure in New Thought, he, every time that he had an aha as he was reading, he would close the book, because then he would go and apply what he just read and had like an epiphany about, and apply it in his life until he got it. And then he would come back to the book and continue.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're describing is exactly what so many other people that have turned out to be, you know, some of our New Thought leaders have done. So.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah. I did do the writing exercise.
Did you? Okay, how is that?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It again, it took me, that was the week 2 that I came in. And so many different things, events have happened recently. Because first I said, okay, should I go back in with something, or should I think about something more current? But then it's like, right now it's several things that are going on all at once. And I'm like, okay, what do I write about? And I said, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to pray for guidance. I remember you told us every night to pray for guidance. And then Reverend Jason gave us the guidance prayer in ODCP. So I've been using that.
Wow.
And what came through was, I shared in the class, in the energy codes class before, I was going to be parenting my grandson while my son was in rehab. Well, he went to detox and rehab, and I'm happy to say Friday he got his 90-day chip from NA, and Tuesday he moved into sober living, so he's going to be there for 6 months.
Wow.
But what's coming up is that I was supposed to be the primary person that was going to be parenting him. And so when I started writing, I wrote about that. I just put a couple of sentences that I thought I was going to be parenting, and I call him Papoose. His name is Jalen, and I call him Papoose. And I said, I thought I was going to be parenting him during this time, but it only ended up being maybe like around a little over a month. And so, and then when I came back and wrote again, I kind of added on to that he was with his other grandmother, which I thought was going to be for 2 or 3 days, and it ended up being for like 8 weeks or so. And so I'm in the process of writing the third part, because so many things were coming through. I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to have to sit this down, because it's other things that were coming through for me about that. But what came through was that I asked for this, as far as I kept, telling, my therapist, I don't think I can do this. I just want to be Grana. He calls me Grana. I just want to be Grana. I don't want to be in the mom role. He has a mother. And so what came through was that, hey, you asked for this, so people showed up so that I could stay in the role of grandmother, even though I may not like how they do things. And so now I'm working with surrender on letting go of how I feel things should go.
Right.
So that's where I am now. So yeah, so that's what came up, is that, you know, I got to release how I thought it was going to be, because I'm very structured. I had him on a schedule and everything was going really, really good. And then him going into an environment where there's no structure, and I'm like, okay, I can't control what's going on in other people's houses, you know? So yeah, that's where I am now.
Wow.
Right.
It just pulled a lot out of me.
Amazing. And I think it was Reverend Joanne who said this some years ago, that we sometimes we think of surrender as a white flag, but in reality, it's this position of opening our arms and like kneeling at the altar, right?
Mhm.
So that we can be supported and embraced and picked up if need be.
Mm.
So it's actually like a very empowering position to enter into surrender. Oh my goodness, that's amazing, Marilyn. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. So let me just check one thing really quick. And actually, there's a song that I want to share with you guys. It was played, I think it was played during when we were getting ready to graduate as practitioners from Agape, the day of our graduation. And it's always like gone straight to the heart for me every time I hear it, because it speaks so much truth. I feel like it's describing that I am presence image, right?
Mm.
In a song. So I want to play it for you guys. So I'm just going to invite you guys to close your eyes for a moment.
Okay.
Okay. Take in all the words.
I am the light of my soul. I am beautiful. I am bountiful. I am bliss. I am. I am the light of my soul. I am beautiful. I am bountiful. I am bliss. I am. I am the light of my soul. I am beautiful. I am bountiful. I am bliss. I am. I am the light of my soul. I am soul. I am beautiful, I am bountiful, I am bliss. I am, I am. I am, I am, 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 I am, I am. I am the light of my soul. I am beautiful, I am bountiful, I am bliss. I am, I am. I am the light of my soul. I am beautiful, I am bountiful, I am bliss. I am, I am. I am the light of my soul. I am beautiful, I am bountiful, I am bliss. I am, I am. I am the light of my soul. I am beautiful, I am bountiful, I am bliss. I am, I am. I am, I am, 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 I am, I am. I am, I am.
The song just simply speaks to the truth of who we are.
Nice.
Like there's nothing that we need to do, right? To be what it is that we are, we simply are. We are the I am presence here. And when we can't access it or feel it, then we have tools, right, that we can work with to help us get back to this eternal truth about ourselves.
Right.
So is there any part of you that had a resistance to the song? And if so, like, don't be afraid to share that, because we're going to work on clearing anything that might be standing in the way of you being able to feel that as often as possible. Like there weren't a whole lot of words in there. But
No.
is there any part of you that was like, was pushing back against it in any way?
Hmm.
What did it feel like for you to listen to that?
In the beginning, it was difficult. But then as I practiced taking it to the body. And by the end, I was okay with it.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
Beautiful.
Reverend Cynthia.
Yes.
So for me, I was just becoming aware. It's taken me 3 weeks to realize that I'm gonna have to breathe differently and
Mhm.
be differently and accept it's almost like COVID. It's like this is a new way of being. And so listening to I am light, I am bliss, it's just part of me accepting my new role, my new birth.
Mhm.
It wasn't challenging. And I'm glad, again, I say this each week, that you record these so I can go back and be with the music again, but it's just it's a new way of being. And and I'm learning to stand up and applaud it
Mhm.
and not fight it, and not throw up the white handkerchief, but just surrender. I mean, it's a little tearful because it's an adjustment. And listening to and reading Sue Morter's book, it's just a way of being. So the song for me is a way of being, of accepting who I am.
I want to say hallelujah, my dear sister.
Thank you. Yeah, So yeah, a little bit of tears, but it's okay. They're tears of joy. They're mixed tears, but I'm grateful. I'm really, and what it means to return to wholeness. So thank you.
Right. I agree with you. It's like for so long, I was like, I just felt like I was the only one that didn't apply to. Right. And the pain that we're in
Yeah,
until we realize the truth of who we are.
right. And remembering to breathe, I guess somewhere along the line,
Mhm.
breathing was not part of the curriculum, just like financial literacy. There were just certain things that are essential, I feel, that are for an individual's survival. I'm not talking about a race, but an individual's survival is breathing.
Yes.
And financial literacy, that was never taught. I just started really paying attention. I was taking a class with Dr. Josh, and they kept talking about breathing, and I kept putting it off. And then I'm moving into my own experience, and all I'm hearing is, you got to breathe. Doing your yoga positions, you got to breathe. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, where was I? And I think I shared it. I'm going to stop talking, that my 40-year-old son was saying, Mom, just breathe. And I know he was having an experience last week, and he just stopped and he breathed. So I'm grateful for the breath, and I'm appreciating how to use it in many different ways to keep me pain-free and in alignment. And I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's true, because often we only breathe like up until the very beginning portions of the lungs, like up until here. We tend to breathe very shallow. Our breaths are short.
Right.
And in this way, with this work, we're training ourselves how to go in beyond the upper portion of the lungs into the belly and all the way down into the diaphragm. And that allows us to turn off fight or flight. So it's like, how can we ever expect to feel calm, peace, and quiet so that we can hear the guidance that is coming through if the fight or flight is always on, the alarms are going off, right?
Exactly. Consistently.
So just breathing without doing like the full on central channel breath with the 4 anchor points, even if we just instantly turns off fight or flight.
Yes.
So I'm so glad that you brought that up. And another thing that Dr. Shu says about the breath, which changed prayer for me. That's why I invite people to take a deep breath at the beginning of prayer, because she said that breath is spirit in the body. And when the breath leaves, the spirit leaves the body. So being that breath is God, is spirit. Imagine saturating your cells, your bones, your organs with the presence of God every time you take in a deeper breath into your body. Saturating yourself from the inside out with the breath. And to think when we breathe shallowly, we're only letting in this much God into the body.
Right.
This much spirit.
Right.
I was like,
Even putting that in perspective is letting God in. Wow. Living spirit, and that to me is a defining moment right now. I just got to sit with that. That's beautiful.
that's what I realized, that I was suffering and in pain, and I was edging God out because I was only letting this much God in.
Wow. I just want to share something real quick, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, go ahead.
I know I mentioned that my husband passed this past year, and right when you were describing that, that's exactly what happened with him. When I told him that I would be okay and it was okay for him to rest and go, and I watched his spirit come out of his body with his last breath, and he just went. He had the biggest. It was just the most beautiful look on his face. I really didn't, just looking at him, for the last breath when it went out of his body. And he just had that, just a real peaceful look. I have a picture of him right when he passed and just before he passed. And exactly what you said, that's exactly what happened with him. I saw that spirit leave, and I was explaining that. Like me, I was just trying to, but I just had the visual right now when you were saying that of his transitioning.
Wow. And for me, that's why it's so important. It's like there's a lot of people usually around when we're being born, and sometimes there isn't as many people, like when we are getting ready to release the body and transition to the next phase of our existence. To me, both of those moments should be held with the same reverence as we're coming in and as we're going out. So I love that you were able to be there and witness your husband.
Oh yeah. I was trying to be there for him and for myself, But just that exact description is exactly what happened with him. Wow. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, my dear.
So nice.
Ethelyn, were you going to share something?
Well, I guess I was going back to that was such a beautiful moment, Dee. So I was kind of in that moment right then. But when we were talking about the music, music immediately takes me inside. It just does. But as I continue to listen to it, especially the words I am, there is that wonderful feeling of moving through the body, through the body, through the chakras, and it just seems to move very easily. And as I continue to listen to music, the more the center of my body, I would say my heart, maybe the solar plexus, the light just seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it just moves out, out into the room until it feels like I'm not just a body, I'm just I don't really know what's the difference between inside and outside. But music does that, and I think those words I am are just so powerful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that, because I used to hear people say that we hold the body in our consciousness when I first got to Agape. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? What is it? And right now, as you're describing it, right, where it's like, so it's the I am presence. And and I'm like, oh, it does hold the body in its consciousness. Like it's our I am presence that holds it all together. Right? Like,
Yes.
and I was like, oh, that's what they meant. I'm like, why couldn't they show me this picture or something?
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, maybe that's just part of it, because it feels like everything is so multifaceted. But I like what you said about the light gets brighter and brighter. And when I listen to songs like this and I allow the truth to like permeate my being,
Mhm.
like when we were listening to the song, I opened my eyes because it felt like a very bright light was shining. And I was like, where is that coming from?
Yes. Yeah.
So just notice, listen to songs that speak to the truth about what is. Allow yourselves to feel the truth at the level of the cells, especially if you're looking to heal pain, hurt, trauma, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, like memories of something, and just allow it, yeah, to come in so deeply into the body. I like, for example, I was working out this morning, and usually I play songs that will energize me, but some of that music doesn't have the frequency that I need to heal, right? A lot of the healing frequencies are like 432 is the healing, 432 hertz is a healing frequency. A lot of the music that's recorded today is recorded like at 430 or 434 or something like that, just off by a very slight shift in the frequency, which sometimes that kind of vibration hitting the body is more of an obstruction to healing than a benefit. So we want to listen to things that are in alignment with healing on every level. So being mindful. So when we hear these kinds of songs that are being played at that frequency, there is so much healing that can happen for us. Okay. So if you just like look up healing frequencies on YouTube, you'll get the various degrees of the frequencies that are available. Like some are specific to repairing DNA, some are specific to repairing the body. Some are specific to healing us emotionally. So just YouTube, look on YouTube for healing frequencies, and then come inside and see which one you need at this time, and allow it to play, while you sit down for like 15 minutes. Bruce, you know a lot more about music than most of us. How did that feel for you?
The music, it's very nice. I really change my spirit whenever I hear the words "I am." Or God is, I am. Repeating that like a mantra for me. When I hear it on a song, it's great. There are certain songs for me that will just tune me right into some place outside of my mind. I'm not in my mind anymore. Certain songs will do that, and I could maybe play it for somebody else, and they'll say, "Well, what's that?" But there's some songs that the words and how they say it, which really is, it can be very powerful for me. So
finding whatever songs feel good to you within your body, and allowing your body to be saturated with these healing tones on a regular basis, right? As you're doing paperwork at your computer, as you're cleaning up, whatever it is that you may be doing, it's super beneficial to have these healing frequencies or healing songs that you resonate with. So start to create like a playlist of healing songs for yourself. And I'll share like a playlist that I've created for me with you guys, just to give you an idea. But this will be part of what you'll be working on this week. And then this week we were reading about the clearing code. We were reading chapter 6 in the energy code. And I know that we've worked on this before in other classes, but I don't feel like we've given it enough time in class for us to go through it like from beginning to end without feeling rushed. Learning how to check to see what is causing subconscious interference for ourselves. So, for example, and before we move on, Amanda, we didn't hear from you. Would you share a little bit on what the experience was like for you, or anything that you want to share about, really?
Okay, I think I figured it out. Can you hear me?
Yay, yes.
All right. Sorry, guys. In the beginning, I was doing dishes and had an interruption in my house. So, shoot. I came into tonight kind of anxious again. So listening to music just then gave me a chance to breathe. I wasn't central channel breathing, but I think it got me out of fight or flight. And then Cynthia called on me and probably shot me right back into it. So bear with me. If I can share on the one bit of homework from this week that I actually was able to do and complete. It was, I'm not sure which video on the forgiveness one, the Michael Beckwith, it was only a 5-minute clip, I believe. And I took some notes, my memory's horrible, that I was envisioning when he said, picture somebody that's a real doozy. And so for me, it was an uncle that had major issues with after my father passed away. And I still don't know why or what it was about. And it was incredibly hard and hurtful. That reminds me, I need to ask you, Cynthia, if when somebody passes away, they can pass on their like resentments or their anger onto somebody else. I felt like I inherited that from him. I wasn't sure why, but I was very mad at my uncle for my dad.
Okay.
So anyways, thinking about him seated in front of me, at first it made me cry. And then it caused this intense pressure, like right on the top of my head, on the crown, almost like pins and needles. I wrote down pain sensation. And then my mind at that point was trying to get caught up in the story. So I dove back into the body and the work. And after, it was really strange, guys. I felt a strong desire. I wrote, I feel a strong desire to ship the photograph box. I've got a huge box of photos for him that day. And then to add the note saying, I forgive you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I want to say that out of a love for our parents or whomever, sometimes we do adopt their positions as a stance of solidarity, right? So it requires a conscious choice on our part to acknowledge that it wasn't ours to begin with, and we're ready to let it go.
Oh, I love that. I got to write it down.
Because I know I did that too for my mom when she was married to a man I didn't like. And so I just, you know, assumed her hate or her anger.
Yeah. Thank you guys for letting me share, and thank you for being here. I felt an incredible sense of calm just being able to turn my video on, sit, and just being with everybody. So I really appreciate that.
And we're so happy that you're here with
us. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And you'll get over your, like your, I used to feel the same way. Like, don't call on me, please. Don't call.
I feel like that all the time.
And honestly, I feel you guys, like my body's been just trapped in fight or flight ever since all those death traumas stacked on each other. And so I'm really enjoying the work to try and get out of it.
Absolutely. And even just bringing awareness to what's been going on is the beginning of us healing.
Right.
So that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing because there was in my first class at Agape, it took every ounce of whatever I could muster. When I left work, I had signed up for a class at Agape. I got out of work and I wanted to retreat, to go home, not show up for class, right? And I got in the car and I drove to the class and I walked into the classroom and I stared at my feet the whole time for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And this man that was sitting next to me tapped me on the shoulder and he goes, Cindy, your shoes are nice, but are they really that nice that you stare at them all? And I felt like, how dare he call me out of my seclusion, my isolation? But he ended up becoming one of my best friends. We did all of the classes together at Agape, and he just moved to Vegas. So I'll be seeing him tomorrow. And I'm so glad that he tapped me on my shoulder and got me to come out of my bubble.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just know that we're just tapping you lightly on your shoulder.
Very nice.
Well, how many times have you gone to a class, or you had to go, you know, you signed up for a class, or you signed up for some kind of function and you didn't feel like going and you just wanted to toss it and you went anyway, and how you felt afterwards? How many times have you just gone to something and it just, it just woke something up, and then you were glad you went there? It happens all the time to me. So
It does. I almost feel like in a way, we've been conditioned by the subconscious to not allow ourselves to participate in things that feel good, that are enjoyable. It's like no sooner do we want to participate in something than the mind comes with a reason as to why we shouldn't. So that's part of what we get to clear, right? Because if you guys remember the recording of the crickets, they're in a constant state of celebration. And you and I are supposed to be like that too, right? In a constant state of celebration that undergirds our life experience. You know, even as we move through the challenges, we start to access this joy that comes from within, just for being alive, just for still having breath, just for still being here. So those are part of the shifts that we experience, as opposed to somebody that might feel like this is just too hard and they're ready to go. If you can relate to that, ever having.
Yep.
D.
Yep.
I just have a quick question.
Yes.
So why did you make this only 5 weeks?
Because I'm going on my honeymoon, you guys. I quit.
Really?
I thought you already went in January.
So we got married over a year ago, but we wanted to take a trip to Greece. And in order for us to be able to do that longer trip, he had just started a job 2 weeks after we got married. So we're finally going to take our honeymoon. We leave September 12th and we're going to be gone for almost a month.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Right.
Cool.
So so that's the only reason why I made it a short class. And I couldn't picture myself not doing something before going on this trip.
Okay.
Ah.
All righty. I'll excuse you then.
Okay. And I was going to tell you guys too, so that you could hold us in prayer as we're traveling.
Yeah.
But
You wrote this course, didn't you, Cindy?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's bringing in the practices and the teachings of the energy codes, but like with a bunch of other stuff, right? Everything that I've learned along the way, everything that has helped me to return to my own wholeness.
Right.
So, but let's start. I wanted to, does anybody have any questions about the clearing code chapter before we begin?
I don't necessarily have any question. Well, I'll wait until the end. I'll just wait until the end. I'll wait.
No, say it. Tell me.
Well, no, what I was going to say is that I ended up doing the march, the Martyr March. So I went in because I have the book. I went to the PDF, and then the PDF allowed me to click on the video. So I was able to do the video, and I just realized again, I got to be gentle with myself and get used to the practices. So I really appreciated understanding, what it means to have the clearing code and how the subconscious and the brain, it gets locked in. So it's definitely taking some practice, and I'm giving thanks to God for having the time without any obstructions practicing it. And I think that's why I know it's meant to feel good, but I guess for me, I still have some stuff I'm working on. So it was a little uncomfortable, but I felt accomplished because I was able to do it in both directions.
That's wonderful. And to me, I liken this practice to standing eagle in yoga. Like, I don't know if you've seen it. It's where you tie your legs like that and your arms like this.
Oh, right, exactly. Yeah, but it was so good to know that she has the video. So hopefully when I see her on Sunday, I'm going to be able to thank her. My spirit is lifted up. Well, actually, my spirit is going to be lifted up, so I'll be able to tell her thank you. Yes, because she's speaking on Sunday at Agape.
Yeah, don't tell anybody, but I'm coming that morning.
I thought so. I'm like, how can she be so close and Reverend Cynthia not show up? That's so cool. Right on. That's
no, and she showed up in my dream 2 nights ago, so I was like, oh, okay, I have to go.
yay, that's good. Well, that's my contribution. And then I ended up listening it twice about how, I hope I'm not giving it away, how the woman had given birth, how she fell off the table. I was just like, oh my gosh. And it just reminded me of what it is to be stuck. And I call it, you know, just being stuck on stupid. And it was just like, oh my God, look what I'm stuck in. I want to get out. I want to get out. And so, and again, thank God for the exercises, but it's bringing me to spirit. It's bringing me to God, like you said. And
Yeah.
and that's exactly where I need to be. I need to be as God, you know, not in the sense of being a blasphemous, but it's the sense of I was created as the image and likeness of God. So therefore, what do they say? I'm not a drop of the ocean, but I am an ocean, and I'm the ocean, and I am the drop of the ocean.
You're the ocean in a drop.
I'm the ocean in a drop. Yeah, thank you. I'm an ocean in a drop. Thank you.
Mhm. I love that analogy. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So just like Sandra said, sometimes we try to implement changes in our lives, and no matter how hard we try, how determined we are, for some reason, they don't stick. So when that's playing out in life, there's usually some kind of programming that is lodged in our subconscious. So like the front part of the brain is the conscious part, and the back part of it is the subconscious. This is where we innocently pick up beliefs, adopt them as our own, even if it was our parents to begin with. An old saying that our parents used to say is money doesn't grow on trees. And as innocent, absorbable sponges, we're like, oh, money doesn't grow on trees. File that away. I have to work very hard for my money, right? Can't buy you that. I work so hard for my money. File that away. Have to work hard for the money. Oh, dear God. Could somebody not have programmed us with, we make money very easily and we enjoy our job, that it doesn't feel like work? like those would be like updated updates to the programs that might be living in the subconscious, right? And the little footnote here is we need to be really, really compassionate with ourselves as we go about making these changes. Because if we bring judgment into the mix, we splat when we're trying to implement changes. If we come at it from, you should know better by now, splat. We splat, right? So then we have to like regather ourselves and then start all over. So being very compassionate, very patient with ourselves, very loving. Because we're talking about the mind here, and the mind will never surrender to anything that is not bigger than it. The only thing that the mind will surrender to is the I am present. It's the only thing that's bigger than the mind, right? The only other way that you're going to get the mind to cooperate with you is if you are loving to it. I used to try to trick my mind when I wanted to make changes, or I would try to be forceful with it. Like, you need to do this, just do as I say, basically, would be my approach, right? And that was ineffective. It wasn't until I started speaking to my mind lovingly, because what happens with the mind is the mind wants to keep you safe, and it equates safety with what it knows. When it senses that you're entering a territory that is unfamiliar or unknown, it starts saying, danger, danger, don't go there. My job is to keep you safe. You stay here with me where we know what this is. So the only way to help the mind settle down in that situation is to say, I've got this. I'm here to take care of you too. I'm actually going to tuck you into bed right now. I'm going to pull the blanket just perfectly under your head. I'm going to give you a kiss on the cheek, and then I'm going to go do some work. And when I'm done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to get you. I have to speak to it that way, like it's a little kid, right? With that much love, because it needs to know that we're not here to destroy it or to leave it behind. Okay. So we are mind, body, breath, mind, body, spirit complexes. And we need to bring these three aspects of ourselves onto the same page. We need to acknowledge every team member as a necessary part of the team. So even as an I am presence, I'm telling the mind, I need you to do this thing successfully. Even as an I am presence, I'm telling my body, I need you to do this thing successfully. I need you to speak to me, tell me what you need. And same to the mind, right? I saturate it with love because I want to create the strongest team that I possibly can so that I can do what I came here to do at the level of the soul, right? As my soul purpose, as my life purpose. So no longer fighting amongst myself, within myself. We need to get everybody on the same page. And the only thing that's going to do that is love. So for those reasons, we start to let go of judging ourselves or criticizing ourselves. All right. So I would say like 95% of our life experiences come from the subconscious. Picture yourself kind of like as a projector, and then we project onto a screen, and we don't like what we see happening out there. And we want to go in and rearrange the characters. But the stuff is the film, the characters, all the information is coming from in here. Right. So we need to come in this way. We can't rearrange the people and the places out there and feel better. We have to come over here. And sometimes people wonder, like, why does this keep happening? And it's because that belief system or that program is still running in the subconscious. So it's still projecting itself onto the screen of life. So as we're watching things play out there, it's not personal, right? It's not that we don't deserve abundance or we don't deserve health or we don't deserve the relationships, whatever it is that's showing up. It's just simply information trying to get us to look back in here to start to make changes in here. So, for example, we start off as the top image, right? Our systems, for the most part, I want to say we start off with a very clean system in the beginning. But I've also heard Dr. Sue say that sometimes we come in with stuff that our ancestors, our grandparents, or our parents weren't able to address completely and successfully, and they pass the baton on to us. And so sometimes we bring things in from the lineage, right? So if we don't come in completely clean and we have a couple of these blockages in our energetic field, it might be ancestral, right? It might be past life, but otherwise it's just stuff that we accumulate along the way, things that we weren't able to process. And because we weren't able to process them, they just get wedged into the subconscious. And then the subconscious projects itself onto the screen of life to get us to recognize that there's something internally that needs to be cleared. So that's why we have the clearing code. This is why we do these practices. Sometimes when I read the book or if I listen to Dr. Sue, it feels like it's too convoluted, because when I do it here at home, I do it in about 2 minutes. So I want to teach you, I guess, the way that I do it, the easy way, and then you can dive deeper into details later. But let's say, for example, that you have something that you're going to and you want to feel centered and grounded. Let's say that you're coming to class and you just want to be centered and grounded so that you can absorb as much as possible. So then I would do some muscle testing. And this is the area where people will have to find which one works better for them. Dr. Sue tests like this, where she does the rings. She links her index finger and her thumb, and then she creates a chain, and she tests like that. For me, what works better is just using my 2 index fingers and doing this. So let's say that I want to see if I'm centered and grounded. Am I centered and grounded? Saying It's saying I am.
Yes.
So why don't you guys test on your part? And you could use anything that you would like to experience. So am I healthy and whole? And I break.
Am I healthy and whole? Partially. Am I healthy and whole?
So if it stays strong, then there's no interference. If it breaks, then there's something that's preventing that statement from playing out. Does that make sense? And if you don't like this technique, you could also ask your body to show you a yes. My body leans forward. And when I ask my body, show me a no, my body leans back. So let me have you guys try it. Ask your body, show me a yes.
Show me a yes. Show me. Oh.
Did that work? And then ask it to show you a no.
Show me.
D?
Yeah. My no went way back. My yes was, I felt like I was fighting it.
And
the no, I could feel it, that the yes, am I fighting it? And what's happening?
And yeah, what's happening is that we're dropping from the mind and learning how to get into the body so that we can use the body to work with us, right? So the resistance might be dropping from the mind into the body. So maybe visualize your awareness going from your mind into your heart, and then ask it, show me a yes.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
I closed my eyes and I went all the way forward. Okay.
Perfect. So yeah, check to see what works better for you. Eyes open, eyes closed.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Eyes closed.
Reverend Sandra?
Yeah, so I had a yes, my body went completely erect and my neck kind of went back a little bit. And my no was like it kind of caved in, like my shoulders dropped down, like, woe is me, kind of like not a victim, but that's the best way I can describe what it felt like. It was just like, ugh, like no. So that was interesting.
Yes.
Right. So we basically just want to know.
Show me a yes.
We want to learn how to speak the language of the body, right? So that we can use it, kind of like a translator, like show me what's going on internally.
Mm-hmm.
Ebony, did you have a question?
Or I don't have a question, but observation.
Okay.
When I say show me a no, I can feel it. Like I can feel myself going back. But the yes is
not as clear.
Not as clear, yeah.
All right. So let's have you try dropping from your mind into your heart and closing your eyes. And then asking it to show you a yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel it now.
And if that one doesn't feel quite as evident, try the linking one for you too. But and this is all designed to basically get us to get out of our heads and into the body. Right? Does anybody, so we can use any of those techniques, right? We can use the links, we can use the index finger, show me a yes, show me a no. Show me a yes, show me no. If you're with somebody, you can put your arm out, right? So Ebony, if your husband's around, you can tell him to test you this way. And you put your arm out and then you say the thing that you want to check for, like I'm healthy and whole, and then have them push down with 2 fingers and see if you stay strong, then there's no interference. And if you go weak, then there's interference. So if you have somebody in the house, that's another way to do it. All right. Is everybody feeling like they've found their way or their method?
Yeah, I'm really familiar with this because kinesiology is used in chiropractics, and my chiropractors used it for 28 years on me. But it does seem that I test very well with another person. Sometimes I'm not testing as well on myself.
And it just takes getting used to, I think.
Yeah.
So how about you, Bruce? Did you find a method that works for you?
I have trouble with the self-testing things. I'll just put it out there, be honest. I just have trouble with it because I feel like my mind is
Overriding?
yeah, it's overriding. I have less trouble with the trouble, well, whatever you want to call it, but I have a lot less trouble with the testing when somebody else is doing it with a large muscle group.
Yeah.
You know, but when you do it with these other methods, I don't know, I feel like I'm tricking myself. I feel like I'm with the other method, when holding your arm out, it's real. The other person that's testing is providing a control. You know, it's different having another person kind of having that kind of control over you when they test. But this one, you're testing yourself. And it just for me, I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but I just feel like my mind is tricking me, and I'm just doing whatever I think is the right thing or whatever.
All right. So this being the case for many people, here's my workaround that because sometimes I just want to clear something and go to work, right? So here's what I will do. If I am in the kitchen and it's time to come in here and I want to be centered and grounded, I'll be in the kitchen, right? Or here before I hit start on the computer, and I just hold the idea of I am centered and I am grounded, and instantly just step forward and step into the position of the mortar march. So without having to do any muscle testing, you just hold the idea, for example, of I am healthy, vibrant, and strong. And I just go into work, I get into position and I start central channel breathing while I get myself in position. And then when I'm done, I say I am, and I don't even test anymore. So this is kind of like a workaround without having to do all the muscle testing, right? So do you guys want to watch the video or do you want to just try it?
To do what you just did?
We're going to do it together. Is everybody able to stand? And if you're not, you can do it from your chair.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me tilt the camera. And without having to muscle test, we're just going to check. We're going to clear for the thing that we want to experience. So health is a big one for me. I'm healthy. I'm whole. Right. So we're going to start by stepping forward with our right leg. And then your arms come out in front of you. And then, since the right leg is out, the the opposite arm stays out in front. So the right arm comes to the back. It opens up at a 45-degree angle.
Mhm.
And then while you're looking at your thumb, tilt your head towards the left. And then you're going to close the right eye. And now imagine taking a breath in from overhead through your nose into your belly. And exhaling down. While thinking whatever it is that you want to experience. So I would be thinking, I am healthy, I am whole. And I breathe up from the earth into my belly. And exhale through my crown. And then one more time, inhale from my crown into my belly. And exhale down to the earth. And then arms down to your side. And then now you're going to step forward with the opposite leg. So stepping on the left leg. And you want to make sure that your knee is slightly bent.
Mhm.
And then your arms are going to come out in front of you. The right arm stays out. This time the left arm opens up to the back of the room. And now you're looking at your thumb and you're going to tilt your head to the right. And then you're going to close your left eye. And while you're thinking, I am healthy, I am whole, we're going to breathe in from overhead into your belly. Exhale down into the ground. Breathing up from the earth into the belly. Exhaling through the crown. And then one more time, breathing in from overhead. And exhaling down to the earth. And then your arms come down to your side. And we turn the other way. So now we're stepping forward with our right leg. Arms come out to the front. The left arm stays in the front. The right arm opens up to the back. We're looking at our thumb. And we tilt our head to the left. And now you're going to close your right eye. And now we're going to take a breath in from overhead. Exhale to the earth. Breathe up from the earth. Exhale through the crown. Breathe in from overhead. Exhale down to the earth. And then switching legs. So now the left leg is out, right leg is back. Your arms come out in front of you. Right arm stays in the front. Left arm opens to the back. Tilting your head to the right. Closing your left eye. Thinking whatever it is you want to experience. Breathing in from overhead. Exhaling down to the earth. Breathing up from the earth. Exhaling through the crown. Breathing up from, or breathing in from overhead. Exhaling down. Legs together. Arms down. And now you raise up your arms in the shape of a Y. And you make the declaration of I am.
I.
And see if you can feel the energy that's pouring in to this between your arms. And maybe even down your arms. Okay, you can bring your arms down. So what I do now, instead of like switching from side to side, if I'm like this, let's see, my legs are like this. When I'm done on this side, I turn this way. And when I'm done on this side, I turn this way. So that's a shortcut. Like you get to pivot when you get better at it. And that's how I can do it like in 7 minutes in the kitchen before I jump on for class. So
would you suggest that? Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Would you suggest that before? It's just like, you know, how Reverend Michael gave us a charge to leave out the house without meditating. Would you do that also? I know you said before you get grounded for class, but would that be something that we would do before we leave out of the house?
Yes. It can't hurt. So if you bring this into your practice on a daily basis, I think that the transformation that's available is exponential, right? Because we're just, and yes, it's good to learn how to muscle test, but we know what we want. We know what we need. We can go straight into it as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
yes, absolutely. Yes.
okay. So yeah, I like to do it, especially when I'm getting ready to jump in for class. If I'm feeling like, well, even like 20, when I told you guys that 20 minutes prior to class, there was something that caused me to splat. Right. So that's, and I did the central channel breathing, and I did that in like 2 minutes. And then I was solid, steady, centered, grounded. I do it often. I always do it when I'm about to go and do like a public speaking event. Because when we're breathing down into the earth, we're breathing into chakra 10. Chakra 10 is, and we're gonna focus on the chakras, I think a little bit this week before we wrap up, and then next week. But chakra 10 is, let me grab this image. Okay, so this is your I am presence. And you see how it touches down to the earth? Are you guys able to see that?
Yeah.
That's chakra 10.
Yep.
That's your point of contact when you first, before you create a physical body to be here in this dimension, you land here first. So when you're coming from spirit into the physical, it's like you touch down here, you land on the planet, chakra 10 gets created, and everything that you need to fulfill your legacy and to reach your Christ consciousness or Buddha consciousness is located in this chakra. Every time that we're doing central channel breath, you're accessing what you need for this lifetime. When we're doing that breathing and you're putting your body in the contralateral position, you're clearing the stuff from the subconscious and you're reaching down into chakra 10 to bring it up into your body. So, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because when I was terrified of public speaking and I would feel very nervous, I would do that empower step. And I believe that it helped me because it would let me access what I needed from chakra 10 so that then I can go on stage and speak. So that's one of the ways in which I have worked with this exercise. And I know, Amanda, this is your first time. So do not feel like you have to get it right away. It took me about, maybe about a year of practicing, maybe like once a week, before I started to feel like I knew what I was doing. Anybody have any comments or questions on that one?
I do.
Well,
Oh, go ahead. Can I just say something?
Yes.
Fast? I'm sorry. When the last time I didn't feel that vibration with the why.
Yeah.
It was so strong now. I'm saying when we do it, I had the energy, but I didn't have that strong vibration with the white. It just was going up and down my arms and like circling. So that was new for me.
Congratulations, my dear.
It was awesome.
Yes.
So, anyway, that's it. That's all I want to say.
Thank you.
I think I have a hard time sensing that the 10th chakra. I have a hard time right now. Is there a suggestion on that specifically?
And this is like the perfect time for us to work with our imagination if we can't feel it, right? So part of how because I had resistance getting into my root chakra and into 10. And when I started visualizing myself like going all the way to the center of the earth, I could visualize going to the center of the earth and then just breathing up from the center of the earth. And in doing so, I pass right through chakra 10. Right?
Okay.
So without necessarily like honing in on chakra 10, if I go down to the center of the earth and I come back, I'm going to go right through it. Because it's 2 feet below us at any point. And it's like about 40-foot diameter circle. So picture this being your body and this being chakra 10, and it follows you everywhere you go.
Okay.
You know, the way something that I got a lot out of was listening to Dr. Mortar's meditation course.
Oh,
she has this meditation course, and it's really wild. I mean, it's like like nothing that I've ever listened to. But when she was doing the because I had a question when we were doing the course, I had a question that I couldn't ask because it was coming off a previously recorded YouTube.
Oh,
but I had the same question when she gave one of the weekend sessions. When I talk, when I feel like chakra 1 or chakra 4, that's part of my body. When I go there with my mind, I can feel it. I can feel those centers. But when you're talking about something outside the body,
yes,
that's where the trick is. So she mentioned in the meditation course, she had this exercise where you had to do your belly breathing. You were way down there way down, and she said, breathe very deeply and open your pelvic bowl like you're trying to touch the bottom of your pelvis to the ground. And you really open your diaphragm and really push it down so you feel that like it's a big bowl down there, which I can feel. And then she does this thing where she passes energy between. She goes down into chakra 1 and 2, and then she has you bring this energy down into the base of your base of your belly, and then she says, "Okay, now release Mula Bandha, and just let that energy fall right down into the earth." It was really weird because we had the whole Mula Bandha while we're doing this deep pelvic breathing like I've never done before. And then she says, "Okay, now release, just let Mula Bandha go and release that energy right down into the earth." And I swear to God, I felt something go down. I don't know where it went, but that answered the question. Well, sometimes when you're dealing with energy like this, it's different when you're asking, do I feel something in my chest or through, something that's in your body? But
Yeah.
when you're dealing with a chakra that is outside the body, that's where I think that's where our mind gets tricked up. And she did an exercise there in the meditation class that really brought it home to me. I suddenly felt like, hey, there's something here. I can feel something. I feel something going down from where that low belly was.
Wow.
And so she did, but that's in her meditation course. You don't get it until I think it's like 3 days, and she doesn't do this until like the third day. So if you go on her website and you go into the meditation course, you can get it on the third day. But that was a really wild experience.
That's awesome. And I think all of us will have different experiences at different times, right? But one of the things that I've noticed is, like, for example, when you're working with a spiritual best practitioner and they either in person or remotely help you to clear some of the subconscious interference, one of the questions that a practitioner will ask is where in your body. So they'll read the emotion that came up to get cleared, and they'll read the description of the emotion to you. And then as they're reading the description, you pay attention to where in your body you feel a physical sensation as the emotion is being presented to you. And a lot of people have a hard time coming into the body and being able to feel like where they felt something, right? Because they're just not used to being in the body. So even with that, we need to be really, really gentle with ourselves because we're not used to it, right? It's like we're bringing the rest of us here home into the physical body. And it's going to take us just a little bit of time.
Yeah.
To be able to sense and feel more.
Yeah.
But you will.
Well, I appreciated the what you just did with the mortar march, because it doesn't depend on what you get with your testing.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I say I'm healthy and whole and I get a no, well, I'm going to do the mortar march. But if I get a yes, I'm going to bypass the mortar. I'm not going to do the mortar march. I like it just that you just ask for you make a statement about yourself, and regardless of whether it's yes or no, you're going to do the mortar march and get the same result.
Very true. Very.
So I really dug that I don't have to test myself.
I know what I need. I need to be grounded. I need to be healthy. I need money. I need love. I need relationships.
Well, that is, I don't know about that.
It's like I know what I would like in my life. So let me just clear so that I can experience it. Yeah.
Right. Clear it out so I can come.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Right. I think that the only rule is that we won't get things that will cause harm to other. It cannot be at the detriment of someone else. But otherwise, it's like everything is here and available for us.
Right.
So anybody else have any comments or questions on the mortar march? With it. Okay. So that's what that chapter is about. You can continue practicing with your body, because every time that you come into the body, you're just getting better at it, at being embodied in your body. All of these teachings that Dr. Sue teaches are embodiment practices. I know that you've probably heard the term ascension. People have been talking about wanting to ascend for a long time. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until I met Dr. Sue when she said people are focused from the heart up and going up to heaven, and they don't realize that they have to come in from the I am presence all the way down into the root and into chakra 10 so that they can ascend. You have to descend before you can ascend. Mm. So people that are just focused on up here and not wanting to come all the way in, they're missing half of the recipe.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. So in order for us to ascend back into the spiritual realm, we need to come in fully to what it means to be human, to be fully embodied here. And then we can start, then the way that we ascend is that we start to rise up through the chakras. So let me just grab an image to share with you guys. Let's see. Mhm.
Okay, baby, I'll take you out. I'll take you out. A few more minutes, all right? Okay. Come here. It's okay. Come on.
Should have pulled this up earlier. Let's see. Now let me just grab it so I can show you. Let me grab the workbook because I think it's in here. And so I'm looking for the page. Oh, I know where I have. Hold on one second. This image here.
Yeah, 29, page 29.
Okay. Let me grab that. Even just starting to learn about the chakras and where they're at in the body helps us to become more embodied. Right? And that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
The more embodied we are, the more we heal. So that little circle at the bottom is chakra 10.
Yeah.
If it came out strong enough in the image. But it's right. So it's about that far beneath us, about 2 feet beneath us at any given point. So we have the 7 chakras that are within the body. We have the root chakra at the bottom of the pelvic bowl. The sacral chakra, which is just beneath the belly button. And all of these chakras have characteristics. They have attributes. And Dr. Sue says that, how does she say it? That every chakra gives us access to a different level of consciousness. So when we start to come all the way in and take up residence in chakra 1, we start to release the feelings of being unsafe in the world. We start to know that we belong without needing to fit in. And because this chakra is open, then the frequency, the energy that emanates off of the earth can come into the physical body to support us overall, right? But if chakra 1 is blocked, then the frequency that's emanating off the earth cannot come through into our system. It's kind of like, do I only want to take in a little God or a lot of God? Do I want to take in this much support from Mother Earth or a lot of support from Mother Earth? That's why when we clear this chakra, that's one of the benefits. Right? If somebody tends to feel unsafe in the world, they have chakra, there's probably a blockage in chakra 1. If if the individual tends to change who they are based on the setting that they're about to enter, that's a root chakra issue too, because they don't know that they can be themselves without having to fit in to know that they belong. If some of us feel like we were born into the wrong family, or some of us might feel like, do I even belong on this planet? It's like, right? It's like we do. Yes, we're in the right family. We picked our families. Yes, we're on the right planet. Because there is so much shift happening right now on the planet that we wanted to be here, because this has never happened before. The amount of transformation that we are going through collectively as a species. So we're all here to hold that frequency of light, as well as to unfold our own souls. So chakra 1, chakra 2, and these are, so the reason why I'm telling you these is because this is what's accessible to us when we start to move into these energy centers, right? Mm-hmm. When I start coming into chakra 2, just beneath my belly button, then I am able to access my intuition and my creativity. And I start to balance out my emotional body, right? If I'm feeling overly emotional on any particular day, then there's probably emotions that are being released from my emotional body. And I can put my hand on that area and allow it to come out however it wants to come out for, right? And what happens is when you and I start doing this kind of work, those blockages that you saw in the energetic field earlier, yeah, those things that got pocketed away because you and I are doing work regularly, consistently, then your own higher self says, okay, he or she did this amount of work. She or he is now ready to open that pocket of stored emotions so that it can be released. And so you might be working out, you might be listening to a song, and all of a sudden you feel all of these emotions want to come out. Don't block them, don't stifle them, right? It's those pocketed away emotions that just are getting opened up and released from your system. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's been happening with me a lot lately.
Uh-huh. You're doing this work, so it's gonna, your own higher self is gonna start going in there and opening these little packages.
Yeah. And I didn't like some of the stuff that was coming out. I didn't believe that. I was like, wow, that's what's coming in my thoughts. Right when I'm in a peaceful state and I'm doing the work, and all of a sudden something ugly will say, oh, well, she did blah, blah, blah. Remember, it's like it's trying to bring me back into that.
Mm-hmm. So the workaround with that, and it's not even a workaround, it's we're here to actually like not only just get by or get through, we want to transcend, right? Mm-hmm. So not going into necessarily the details or the story, like I don't need to know. So I have a feeling, I don't need to go through the pain of what that felt like. I did that already, right? So I'm just going to start breathing. And for example, today I was on my stationary bike in the garage, and there was all of these emotions that just started coming up. And I have my headphones on and I'm listening to music and I'm in the garage and I'm like, wow.
Well, some of these things for me, I thought I was past. I didn't even think that I had that. It's like some things that my sister did a while back, and I'm not into the blaming or the holding on to grudges. And all of a sudden, this little, okay, because I was talking to her daughter and trying to show her the positive sides of her mom, just, moving. And then here I get off the phone with her next time. Yes, she did do blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, 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 I'm holding her in love. Because I told her, I said, I'm praying for her mother every day. Don't worry. Regardless of what's happening, we're still moving forward. Don't blame her. Just make sure you forgive yourself. And I'm like, okay, and la, la, la. And she's so happy, and I'm happy. And we get off the phone, and next time, well, she did that. Old stuff just came into my mind. And I'm like, And then it turned ugly, and I said, "Stop!" Okay, so it's like
Exactly, right? And it's like we've already been through it before. We don't want to subject ourselves to it again. So I'm glad that you were able to tell it, okay, just stop. And if you can find it where you're feeling it in your body, that's that practice of take it to the body, feel it, don't name it, take it to the body. It's like locate where, because it's somewhere in the body being stored. And then once you locate where you're feeling it and you start breathing through that area, right, and you bring love to it, it'll start to dissipate it, because it just needed to let you know that it was still there.
yeah, I didn't even, yeah, okay, exactly. That's what it's doing. It's letting me know.
Yes.
I didn't think it was there. I'm like, how do I? Yeah, I thought I was beyond that.
Nope.
I guess not.
We have so many tiny packages in our systems, right? So that it doesn't overwhelm us, it releases in little spurts over time.
Okay.
So it doesn't knock us over like a tsunami.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're my pleasure, Dee.
Oh, that was exactly this week. That just happened yesterday. But okay, thank you.
Mhm. So next week we're gonna continue discussing the chakra system. Let me grab this. I know that this class is only 5 weeks. So we didn't get to cover like all of the chapters in the book, but the spirit code in the energy codes book, I want us to read that, which is, let me see, it's chapter 10. So read chapter 10 this week if you can, because that goes with the song that we listened to today. It goes with the image of the I am presence, the truth of who we are. And beyond you guys getting techniques which help us move in life, my goal, my desire, my heart desire for all of us is for us to realize that we really are that I am presence here in physical form. Right? That we move anything out of the way that prevents us from living from being that. That we start to see that that's the reality of who we are, and we're having a temporary human experience. And there might be rules that we have to play by in this dimension, which we can. But that's the eternal truth about us. Right? We are the light of the soul. So read that chapter, and I'll send you guys an email tomorrow, probably with one other little thing to watch or listen to. Help facilitate more of that. So don't worry about getting things right. Our main objective is for us to remember who we really are, in the energy and frequency of as much love as possible. Right. So thank you so much for another wonderful week. Any comments or questions before we close out?
I do. Yeah. As I was searching through all these YouTube videos that you had, did you send that video where all the people? You know what? Oh, that was Dr. Sue. It must have been, huh? Or the 6-week free thing that has all the other speakers on.
Oh, that was Dr. Sue. Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else sign up for that?
I forgot what it's called. She's off. Is it a free summit?
It's free, but they're trying to sell you the videos. So I just kind of went through everybody's little thing. That's how I got distracted. That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, let me see what they have to say. Okay. So I was listening to all these different videos for each person. But yeah, it's supposed to be free. And yeah, it's September the 1st or 2nd. I forget what date is. Don't hold me to that. But yeah. And it's a lot of speakers, master teachers on there. And if you listen to it, you have up to 48 hours to listen to it for free.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Buy it and listen to it forever or be a part of all their classes.
Okay. I'll go through my email and I'll include the link so you guys can look at it and see if it's something that you feel drawn to. That's another way to get in the body. Come into the body to feel your way into your choices. Okay? Don't figure things out from up here. Come in here.
Okay. I'm just curious if anybody else looked into it.
Has anybody else?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Mhm.
That's on Gaia.
Yeah.
That's Gaia.
Oh, it is?
I thought you sent it.
Yeah, Dr. Sue.
Wait a minute. No, what Dee's referring to is a summit that Dr. Sue sent an email about.
Oh,
That's going to be available, I think September 1st or something.
uh-huh.
Oh, that's the one in Sedona or something like that.
Well,
No, that's another one.
Oh, it's another one.
Yeah, they just finished videotaping it, but they're releasing it September. So it's all going to be on Zoom.
Okay.
Oh.
And you have 48 hours to look at it if, and then it goes. But it's a bunch of sales stuff along the way. But, I figured that would be an opportunity at least to view some of the stuff.
Okay. Each one of you guys has had some kind of shift or aha or understanding based on what you've shared today. Every single one of you guys has had something happen. So I want to teach you another way to work with the body. So I want you to think back to the epiphany that you may have had, the realization that you may have had, the I like this better moment, whatever it was, whether it was from today's class, like Bruce, for example, you're like, I love the mortar march thing without having to muscle test. Awesome. Anything that you can bring to your awareness that you felt was good for you. And so now you're going to take a breath in from overhead into your belly through your nose. And exhale down to the earth. And then you're going to turn your spine. You're going to twist your spine to the left. While you're still holding that celebratory moment in your awareness. And now take a breath in from overhead into your belly. And exhale down to the earth. And breathe up from the earth into the belly. And exhale through the crown. And continuing to hold on to that aha, that good moment, and twisting the other direction. And now taking a breath in from overhead. Exhaling down to the earth. Breathing up from the earth into the belly. And exhaling through the crown. And then coming back to center. And so in this way, you record your victories, your ahas, your epiphanies in your body. It doesn't just record the trauma, it records the good too. So as we start releasing these emotional packages that have been stored, we can begin to replace them with celebratory moments and vibrations. Okay. So
Yes.
close our eyes for one more moment and take one more breath. And so we continue to breathe in deeply as we recognize that breath truly is spirit in the body. And so I'm grateful and thankful for how it is always available to us. I'm grateful and thankful for this gathering, for this class, for all that has transpired here this day, for all that will continue to unfold in the company of ease and grace while we are enveloped in love. I'm so grateful and thankful for our human incarnations as we walk out this journey of remembering that we truly are the I Am Presence. This glorious, magnificent, luminescent being that never leaves home. That there truly is a part of us that forever remains in God. That part of us is the part of us that can never be hurt, harmed, or endangered. No matter what challenges we walk through here in the human dimension. But I'm grateful and thankful that we do have bodies, that we do have minds, and that the I Am Presence is overseeing it all. And that everything that is unfolding in our lives is here to serve our awakening. And so we lean in with curiosity, with tenderness, with love and care as we explore the next aspect of ourselves that we are about to discover. And I'm grateful and thankful for the tremendous and powerful space of love that we all hold and create for one another. And so as we finish our class here this evening and everyone is preparing to go to bed, we get to ask for divine guidance to come through very easily as we go to sleep. For we too get to create as the universe does, effortlessly, fully supported by the presence of God. And so we make it all welcome. Knowing it is already so, I release this word by saying, and so it is.
Oh, it is.
So it is.
So don't forget to ask for guidance to come through in the dream state, to ask for support. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week.
See you next week.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Blessings, everyone.
Huh?
You.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you guys.